Here is another video about the metaverse. Is metaverse used, and if so, what for? I'm going here to tell you about some of the usage that I feel are really the trending usage of the metaverse. So let's go. I think there are different levels of maturity of the different uses of the metaverse. Some are very mature, some are more emergent. So I'm going to start to talk about the more mature use cases, and then I will tell you a little bit more, little by little, about some use cases that are more emergent, but that are still trending. So let's start with the most mature use case. So in my opinion, the most mature use case is video games. I already mentioned this in another video where I give the definition of the metaverse, and my vision is that the metaverse that is the most known and that has existed for the longest time, I would say, is World of Warcraft. It came in 2003, and for me it's exactly the definition of the metaverse. It's an online world which is multiplayer and which is also permanent. So this means that if you don't go to the metaverse, it still exists. And I think it is a very important use case of the metaverse. Another use case of the metaverse that emerged is everything that is about entertainment. And in particular, so when I say entertainment, you can think of video, for instance. Watching videos is a way to entertain. Maybe you are even entertaining yourself right now when you are watching this video. Another way to entertain yourself can be to go to a concert. And actually, there have been a lot of concerts in the metaverse, and those concerts have been complete game changer in the industry. Why so? In a physical concert where you can physically go, usually you can have up to 60,000 people. If you're in a big city and the show is in a stadium, you can have up to 60,000 people in Wembley Stadium, for instance, or in Stade de France in France. The thing with the metaverse is that you can organize a concert and have millions of people. And this actually happens. And I'm going to tell a little bit more about this in another dedicated video on the topic, because I think it's absolutely fascinating and a complete game changer in the culture industry. So you can also entertain yourself in the metaverse by either watching some videos. You can watch content on the metaverse, and actually a lot of content that emerged in the metaverse was pornography. Because this industry has always been extremely innovative, especially for everything that is about internet. And of course, they embraced this new technology of the virtual reality before anyone else, I would say, and in extremely high quality. So a way to entertain yourself can be to watch basically some porn in VR. And if you try this experience, you will see it's very weird because they try to put you in first person so that you really have the feeling that you're basically having sex online. So, and this usage exists. It's live, and it has been live for quite some years now. Another way to entertain yourself, so you have this, you have concerts, but you also have simply the fact of meeting people. So I've done several meetings, meetup, we call them, in Bitcoin meetup on the metaverse. There is one that is organized by Swiss CryptoCat, which is a French-speaking meetup on the metaverse, and it's organized on Altspace VR on a space that they created, which is a Bitcoin city. And if you're interested, if you have like a VR headset and you're very curious about like Bitcoin and meeting some French-speaking community, I strongly encourage you to go attend this meetup, or at least just go visit the Bitcoin city, which is a lot of fun because it has lots of references to the Bitcoin culture, and I feel it's very fun. I've even organized a meeting with one of my colleagues in this alt space because I found it would be a very nice way to have a chat in a less formal way. So I've told about two different use cases of metaverse that are pretty mature, games and entertainment. There is one that is emerging a lot right now, which is actually exercising, fitness. And if you listen at Mark Zuckerberg's latest interview on Joe Rogan that came in August, he tells something that I really love about Metaverse. He says basically that it's the first physical computing platform. So with VR, virtual reality, now you interact with the computer with your body. And because of that, a use case that emerged is actually everything that's linked to fitness, which has been actually a big surprise for Mark Zuckerberg himself. And sometimes a lot of games that were just games happened to be kind of fitness games, and therefore people started to play them more for fitness than just for the game. One of them is Beat Saber. I'm a big fan of Beat Saber, by the way, so I play this game a lot. And it's true that when I play this game, I have to change clothes to feel really comfortable, to dress light if I'm inside, because I'm going to be hot very, very fast in a closed room. And I'm having a lot of fun exercising. And I have the feeling that adding this physical component to a game is actually creating even more adrenaline and more fun. One last very interesting but much more emergent use case of the metaverse is everything that is related to work, collaboration, and learning. So on this front, there have been a lot of recent innovation, and one of them is Meta workrooms, which are really fun because you actually have a meeting room where you can go with your colleagues, where you will have this actual feeling of presence of your colleagues. And what makes things much more different than just doing a visio where you just look at your screen is that you have this feeling of spatiality. Another interesting thing that Mark Zuckerberg said about this use case is that when you add spatiality to sound, you create better memories. You remember better the things that were said in the meeting. So it's worth trying. But beyond these experiences that are in virtual reality of a metaverse that can be used for collaboration and for work, there is also some other ways of having a metaverse without virtual reality. And I'm going to talk about this again in another video because I think it's extremely interesting. And if you are working with some teams that are remote, there are some ways to create this sense of presence and create also these opportunities to have this little chat between meetings. Because when you go to a meeting online with a video, which we tend to do more and more over time now since we actually are more and more remote, especially since COVID, we lack these little moments before the meeting, after the meeting, when you are in the corridor and when you talk with people. And there exists some metaverse when you can actually replicate this feeling of presence and this kind of casual moments. So I will talk about it in another video. So as a recap, more mature use case, video game, then entertainment, that is quite mature actually because we had huge concert that already happened a few years ago. Then exercise, a new trending use case, fitness, and then working and learning. I didn't say one thing about learning, but it's something that maybe is more emergent because it's for very niche businesses. But thanks to VR headsets, you can do simulators basically. So you can simulate an experience where you pilot or these kind of things that can be a good and much nicer and much more engaging way to learn. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please subscribe, and then you will keep updated also for the next videos, especially on this topic of the metaverse.